Jesse.
Hey,
you already
know.
Thank you for having me.
You already know what it is.
I appreciate it.
Bomba
Okay,
say
Yo, Chops on the instant. You already know. Shout out my brother Chops Logic. You already know.
Flacco.
Hey.
Who you with today, family?
Hey, I'm with my Uncle Capo. I got Chops in the building. Got Broski in the building.
Okay.
Hey, we just all here.
Shout out the man them.
RC on me, you know what I'm saying?
I see you're repping Runners Club. Bring the people into what Runners Club's all about.
Runners Club, the only other way I could explain Runners Club, if it's not the actual way that it is Ridgeway and College Way. See that R and that C? That's Ridgeway and that C is College Way. But instead of like keeping it to the block and only, something that we could market to people that have lived there or know about it, we decided to go with Runners Club, and that was thank you to an idea from them from the block that lived there.
So bring us into coming up from Ridgeway, because it's definitely a legendary block. Redway, rest in peace. So what was it like growing up those ways?
It's crazy because like you said, it's legendary, in a way, like, Rich Kid and all the different artists that have like worked from there that Rich Kid produced for Drake and stuff like that, but he used to run around the same block as me, you know what I'm saying? And I think it was cool because like I was born in 1997 on October 26th. My first day home was 3480 Colonial Drive. That's the block right there.
Okay, right.
And these guys lived there. Like my uncle actually used to live down the road. My parents. My mom, she was from Toronto, right down the road over here, in between Islington and Weston on Finch.
Right.
But then they moved to the Ridge, and that's where it started.
And
then I was born. My parents had me when they were 14.
Right. So because of that, because of that date and the numbers and the birthday, did you always feel a very special connection to your block?
I think it's just the fact that I was born there,
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like when I was a baby, like when my mom was driven home, it was driven home to there. He knows I don't remember shit, but he knows them times. And then after I kind of grew up, and my mom tells me stories about stuff I did, and I have those memories. And then, my mom was young when she had me, and my pops was in and out, so we were on the go everywhere. So now it's not just Ridgeway now. It's that's why I call myself Connect, because it's like I've lived in Acorn, I've lived in a block down the road from Acorn, I've lived in different government.
So you moved around a lot.
I lived in Roach Court, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I lived everywhere. Like I moved around a lot, you know what I'm saying?
Shout out the guys in Roach still.
You know what I'm saying? But there's some talented people over there.
How have you seen the neighborhood change from going back to those days and seeing guys that used to run around on the block with now having a different type of shine on Toronto? It's
definitely crazy. Like, it's surreal. There's people that put in work from when they were younger and they were kids, and I've seen, because I was putting in work too, and I was always watching who in the area where I'm from, we could expand more into Toronto, but for me, growing up in Mississauga, there's names out there that are signed to people and have co-signs, and there's people actually making a name for themselves.
Being from the ways, how hard is it to let go of those those long-seated and rooted problems for the betterment of the city? Because we all personally
I think we all have to, there has to be, you have to sit in a room with the people involved, and you have to kind of just it just has to be there with, and it has to be mediated, and at the end of the day, you have to be men.
Where does the music drive come from?
The music drive comes from that pain I feel. That energy you see in me right now, it's like I'm traumatized.
Right.
I'm traumatized.
PTSD is real shit. How old are you?
I'm only 23. Like right now, the feeling, the emotion is surrealness, because my project that I just put out, FLACO, it was 4 tracks, and I feel like those 4 tracks right there are kind of what we just talked about. That person I just let it out. That's what it was me letting go from being Jay Flacco, because that's what I was banging by. My artist name was Jay Flacco. I'm making music, I've been recording, and I'm transitioning now from Jay Flacco to the bigger artist that I am.
So bring us into that transition, because to bring it back a little bit, you mentioned Party Next Door. You're now letting your own creative energies kind of go.
And I'm moving on from some childish stuff. I'm growing up. Jay Flacco, that's the younger me. I was like, what everything I just was at the start of this interview was hot-headed, I'm thinking about negative stuff, but there's so much positive. What I'm singing about, what I'm rapping about in my new music, is about love. It's about life. It's about friendship. It's about relationships.
And positive.
It's not. I'm not sitting here talking about I could crush you with these 2 hands. I could crush you with these words. Yeah, you fly, you a bird. Be smart, you a nerd. I'm not dissing nobody. I'm rapping about my shorty. That's what's nice, you know.
Right,
like,
right.
It's just like that, you know.
So you said you got an EP out currently.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah.
As Flock Connect.
Nah, as Jay Flacco. It was the last project I released as Jay Flacco.
Where can people check that out?
Apple Music, Spotify, TikTok.
Spotify, everywhere. How do you find you?
You just search up Jay Flacco with all capitals. JAYFLACO.
Okay, proper.
Yeah.
And so you're working on you're working on a project right now.
Yeah, 2021. I'm
Right.
gonna be releasing a self-titled project called Flock Connect. FLACO NNECT, and that is also what my new artist name is. It's moving. It's a lot more positive now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I want. Like, the transition is more me going from like hot temperament to like, you know, I'm kind of actually mellow and I'm
like
cool with
showing
the
the
vibe.
growth.
Yo, the girls like to be around me. Like, my girl's a bad girl. She's in Alkaline, Sean Paul, Miguel, Travis Scott videos. You know what I'm saying? And like, she love my music. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like appealing to a different.
So what you've realized, as an artist, is that hey,
I'm gonna push that to the side.
Girls really love this shit.
They do. Like,
so let's test on this side.
And I think I'm doing great. Like, I've been getting a lot of great responses from like making this type of music and moving on from kind of like, you know.
So you planning on doing a big music video?
Oh yeah, like, you know, right now we're kind of like, me and my Uncle Capo are working on a video for the FLACO project, just a 1 track. We're gonna drop it, and in the new year we're kind of just solely focused on the 7 tracks on Flock Connect, you know.
Right, proper. So growing up, was your family really heavily influenced by music? Where did the music side come in?
I think it comes from like my mom's side, you know. As my uncle, you know, they were Colombian, and you know, my grandparents came to Jane and Finch back when they're, you know, from Colombia in the 80s and stuff. And then, you know, my mom was born, and then they moved to Saga. And supposedly the story is, what I've heard from my mother and from my aunt and from my uncle, is that my mom Erica and her sister Jessica really liked hip-hop, rap music, Nas, Big L, Biggie, all of them. Like, my mom's 82, and my aunt Jessica's in, you know, the late 70s. So like, they were there for that old school hip-hop, that rise, you know what I'm saying? And they were bumping it. My mom was bumping it heavily, and somehow that transferred into Lil Chris right here.
Okay.
And he went from Driftwood. Yo, we used to run around down the road. Like, we were playing in the Driftwood Hispanic Soccer League. You know, my grandpa was selling empanadas, and like, you know, my grandpa would host like MC nights for Colombians, you know what I'm saying? And
how do you see Latin culture developing in the city? I've been put onto a whole new
wave,
like a whole new fucking subgenre of music in the city that is not even on the fucking radar.
There's a big Latino community in the GTA,
saying.
You know?
Right. So how do you see that developing in the future for the music?
I definitely think it'll be big. Like, it's big. Like, it's getting bigger in America, like, you know. But like in Toronto, I feel like it's gonna be big. Like, there's a lot of talented Spanish people out here, you know what I'm saying? And like, I definitely look forward to making more music and involving my heritage and my blood and where I'm from into it, you know?
Right.
And it's definitely something to look forward to. Like, right now, I feel like I'm definitely elevating. That's where I feel myself with my music. Like, when I walk into the booth and when I'm at home writing a song and I memorize that song, I walk into the booth with 5 songs in my head, and I just go and lay them out with all my heart and my passion.
So when you hit the booth, you're lacing more than one tune.
I try to test myself. Like, I have like amounts, so like how much good records can I make in a night? Like, so far I'm at like 10. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've done.
So do you go in with written records, or do you go in with beats, or do you go in?
I'm versatile.
Right. What's your best way? What's
my best way? Like, where I'm comfortable. Like, the best advice I could give to a young writer that wants to be a rapper or artist is that you have to practice. You know what I'm saying? That's something that you have to thrive on, whether it comes to freestyling every day or just like continuously trying to write. And so what I like to do is, when I'm writing, after every line, I go back to the line and I rap it out. And every time I put a line, I go back, and then to the point where, like, once I'm done that last line of the track, so I have the verse, I have the hook, now I have the second verse, I have the hook, I have a bridge, I have a third verse. After that's all written out, I've already memorized it all. I just put the pen and paper down, and I'm spitting it on the beat. Now I do that for like weeks. You know,
there's a lane, dog.
I've been trying to find that lane. I've been out here searching through. I've been in the underground.
You're 23. That's crazy.
I'm in the underground. Like,
shit, dog.
Can I freestyle?
You want freestyle right now?
I mean, can we do something like that? I know
Yo,
like, you know.
What are you talking about? Cult Media right now. Flock Connect. You want a beat?
We could play a beat or acapella.
Acapella.
Acapella, then I sound like Rockefeller, like Jay-Z, like Hove. Tell them they could get shots to the dome. And if a rapper sends shots, I'ma buy him the bar. Oh, he talking about Flacco? He just bought him the bars. And my uncle in the back, he just bought him a car. And he saw the corner lot and the corner yard. Like we used to turn him for his birthday. Thinking about what it said used to hurt me in the worst way. We do that. FLACO-NECT 2021. Shout out to Jesse and the cult, you know.
JesseTheA&R for Cult Media. We're fucking out of here.
We out of here.